Now we're going to work on standing balance. So balance is really important for coordinating your brain and your body and helping you to be really healthy and strong and able to do everything you want to. A lot of times when we're trying to do a standing balance exercise, our muscles of balance aren't responding very well, and we end up using things in our back or our shoulders or our knees that maybe don't need to work so hard. We want to be more efficient. We want to use our balance muscles in our hips. So there's these glute muscles on the side of your hips, the gluteus medius and gluteus minimus. They're right here. You can touch the sides of your hips. And they help to really draw your femur bone, your thigh bone, into its socket. So in that mini lecture, we talked about the ball of the femur bone bumps forward in its socket. And this actually helps to really center it. So standing balance is a really great thing for that. And it helps to just keep your hip muscles really coordinated. So what you're gonna do is find a surface you can put your hands on that's gonna be strong enough for you to really use for balance. So I want my hands to be on this surface. You can use a high countertop or the back of a couch or a chair. This is right about at my belly button, so I would say like not higher than that, not higher than the belly button, maybe a little lower is fine. And then I'm gonna stand on my right leg and swing my left leg forward like I'm taking a step up. So then I'm gonna practice kind of sitting in my hip, and that's not so great for my posture and my balance. So practice, that's when it's disengaged. And then I'm gonna draw my pelvis underneath me, and that's when it's engaged. So I'm gonna show you from this angle now. If I'm standing like this is when it's disengaged, and this is when it's engaged. So it should feel like the whole leg and pelvis draws right underneath you and makes you a little taller, and you might feel a nice engagement on the side of your hip. That's what you want to feel. So again, it would be disengaged and engaged. So you're going to do that motion in just a small way, keeping your hands available to help you balance. I've got really weight on my the hand of the leg that's swung forward. So I'm going to let my hip go out to the side and then come underneath me. And hopefully if I do this a few times, I really feel that side of my hip muscle fired up, and then I can just try to stay with the side of my hip firing, feel this nice glute muscle, and then I just try to balance. I try to feel my head balanced over my ribs and my pelvis, try to challenge my balance and stay there for like 30 seconds or so. So you should be able to easily balance for at least 30 seconds, and you should also eventually be able to close your eyes and still balance. It's a little wobbly, but I can still balance with my eyes closed. Another way I want to show you of doing this so that you can see a different angle is if I'm, let's see, show you on the same side. So I'll be starting here, and I just want to show you this so you see this is disengaged of the hip, and then it's like my pelvis moves like a typewriter carriage. It's like a typewriter carriage going this way. So that when I stand in balance, I go disengage and engage. One thing to pay attention to is that I'm using this to engage my hip. I'm trying to do not the back engagement. See, that's engaging my back muscle here, and I want to really engage this instead. So I feel like my pelvis doesn't have to stay perfectly level, but that I'm really working from the leg I'm standing on. That way. And then once I find that balance, I can challenge myself to balance, bringing my arms wherever I want to. And then I can try closing my eyes, and I can still do it. It gets more wobbly when you close your eyes. And the other thing to pay attention to is just feeling your posture, like you've got your head, ribs, and pelvis all stacked for your balance. Oh, and one more thing is you can try to practice this throughout the day. So one of your projects for the hip segment is to practice standing balance 3 to 6 times a day, and you want to try and practice it like this so that you really know where your body is and if you're balancing well, if you're using those muscles and strengthening them. I would try to do about 5 to 8 times of swinging your hip out and then bringing it under to really get that sense of balance, and then try to balance for at least 30 seconds here.